What if I told you that every breath you're taking right now contains atoms that once flowed through the lungs of dinosaurs, danced in the hearts of ancient stars, and will someday nourish life forms we cannot yet imagine? Not only happened, but it could change how you see your place in the universe forever. Picture this. You are lying here tonight feeling solid and permanent, yet you are actually a temporary arrangement of stardust, borrowing elements from the cosmic library for just a brief moment in Earth's 4.5 billion year story. But here's the twist that scientists tried to downplay for decades because it challenged our human-centered view of existence. We might be nothing more than a fleeting experiment in consciousness, a brief flicker in Earth's grand design. In the next 3 hours, you'll drift into calm while uncovering the hidden truths about humanity's true role in the cosmic story. This isn't just science, this is your story, written across the fabric of space and time itself, told through the language of elements and energy that have been speaking long before words existed. Tonight, we'll journey through deep time, where millions of years pass like seasons, and discover that everything you thought you knew about permanence, about human importance, about the nature of existence itself, might be beautifully, mysteriously wrong. If you love journeys like this video, subscribe and comment your country and what time you're listening. Let's begin this gentle exploration together. Close your eyes and imagine you're standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon at sunset. The layers of rock stretching down into the earth tell a story so vast that human civilization would fit into just the topmost speck of dust on the rim. Each layer represents millions of years, and in those deep, ancient stones, there's not a single trace of humanity. This is where our story begins, with a revelation that shook the scientific world, the discovery that Earth had already lived through multiple complete reinventions of life before humans ever existed. Not just different species, but entirely different ways of being alive, different atmospheric compositions, different colors of sky. In 1977, a geologist named Preston Cloud made a discovery that would forever change how we understand our planet's history. Deep in the rock formations of Minnesota, he found evidence of Earth's first great transformation, something so dramatic it makes human civilization look like a brief summer afternoon. He discovered that Earth's early atmosphere contained no oxygen at all, and the introduction of oxygen by ancient bacteria was actually the planet's first mass extinction event, wiping out nearly all existing life. But here's what makes this discovery so profound for your understanding tonight. Those ancient bacteria didn't know they were changing the world. They were simply living their microscopic lives, breathing and growing, completely unaware that their waste product, oxygen, would fundamentally alter the chemistry of the entire planet and pave the way for oxygen-breathing creatures like you. Just as you lie here now, breathing that same oxygen, completely unaware of how your existence might be altering Earth's story in ways you cannot perceive. This pattern, scientists discovered, repeats throughout Earth's history. Life doesn't just adapt to the planet, life changes the planet, often in ways that make the previous forms of life impossible. The comfortable world you know, with its blue skies and green plants, is not Earth's natural state. It's the result of billions of years of life forms unconsciously terraforming their own home. And now, as you settle deeper into rest, consider this. If bacteria could accidentally change the world so completely, what might humans be doing to Earth's story without realizing it? What might we be the beginning of, rather than the end point we imagine ourselves to be? The ancient rocks hold secrets that make human history look like the final sentence in a vast library of stories. Tonight, we'll explore what those stories tell us about the temporary nature of all life, including our own. Let your breathing slow as we travel back to 1859, to a quiet English village where Charles Darwin sat in his study, wrestling with an idea so revolutionary it would fundamentally change humanity's understanding of its place in the world. But the story isn't what you think you know about evolution. It's about what Darwin discovered about time itself. Darwin realized that the Earth must be unimaginably old for natural selection to work. Not thousands of years, as most people believed, but millions upon millions of years. He was looking at a timeline so vast that human existence would barely register as a blip. This wasn't just a new theory about animals changing over time. It was the first scientific glimpse into deep time, where humanity's entire story becomes microscopic. But here's the revelation that truly changed everything. Darwin understood that species aren't just temporary arrangements of matter, they're temporary experiments in survival. Every creature that has ever lived, including humans, is essentially the universe trying out different ways of being conscious, different methods of experiencing reality. Feel the weight of that thought settling over you like a gentle blanket. You are not separate from nature. You are nature's latest attempt at understanding itself. Your thoughts, your dreams, even this moment of listening, are the Earth developing new ways of being aware. In the decades following Darwin's revelation, scientists began to understand that extinction isn't a failure, it's a feature. Over 99% of all species that have ever existed are now extinct. Not because they were flawed, but because they were chapters in a much larger story, each one adding something essential before making way for new experiments in consciousness. The passenger pigeon, which once darkened the skies of North America in flocks of billions, lived for thousands of years before disappearing in just a few decades. The giant ground sloths of South America thrived for millions of years before climate change made their way of life impossible. Even the mighty dinosaurs, masters of the Earth for 165 million years, were ultimately just one chapter in the planet's ongoing story. And now, as you sink deeper into this gentle exploration, imagine yourself from this deep time perspective. Human civilization, all of recorded history, art, music, science, love. Every human who has ever lived, all of it happening in what amounts to the last few seconds of Earth's day. This perspective doesn't diminish us, it places us in context. We are Earth's newest experiment in consciousness, its latest attempt at understanding the universe through self-aware beings. But we're not the final experiment, we're not the culmination. We're a phase, a beautiful temporary phase in something much grander. What might come after us? What new forms of consciousness might emerge from the seeds we're planting today, just as we emerged from the groundwork laid by countless species before us? As you settle even deeper into comfort, let me share with you one of the most beautiful surprises hidden in the story of life on Earth. It's a discovery that emerged gradually through the 20th century, piece by piece, until scientists realized they were looking at something that changed everything they thought they knew about how planets develop consciousness. The surprise is this: Earth appears to behave like a single, self-regulating organism. This isn't mysticism, this is science. The temperature of the planet, the composition of the atmosphere, the saltiness of the oceans, all of these have remained remarkably stable for billions of years, despite massive changes in solar radiation and countless catastrophic events. James Lovelock, a British chemist, first noticed this in the 1960s while working on methods to detect life on Mars. He realized that Earth's atmosphere shouldn't be stable. The oxygen and methane in our air should react with each other and disappear within just a few million years. Yet they've coexisted for billions of years. Something was actively maintaining this delicate balance. The more scientists studied this phenomenon, the more extraordinary it became. When volcanic eruptions pour massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, increasing global temperature, the warmer oceans begin to circulate differently, which changes weather patterns, which affects plant growth, which changes how much carbon dioxide is absorbed from the air, which gradually brings the temperature back down. It's as if the entire planet has a thermostat, but no one designed it. It emerged from the complex interactions of countless life forms, each one simply trying to survive, yet collectively creating a stable environment that maintains the conditions necessary for life to continue. This is where the story becomes personally profound for you tonight. You are not just living on Earth, you are part of Earth's nervous system. Your thoughts, your breath, your very existence participates in this planetary self-regulation. The oxygen you're breathing was exhaled by plants. The carbon you'll exhale will feed those same plants. The calcium in your bones came from ancient seas. The iron in your blood was forged in dying stars. You are not separate from this planetary organism. You are one of its newest sensory organs, one of its newest ways of experiencing and understanding itself. Humanity might be Earth's first attempt at developing abstract thought, at understanding mathematics and physics and the nature of existence itself. But here's the twist that scientists are still grappling with. If humans are indeed part of Earth's self-regulatory system, then our intelligence, our technology, our ability to modify the environment might all be part of a larger planetary evolution towards something we cannot yet comprehend. Perhaps our cities are like neurons forming in a planetary brain. Perhaps our internet is like a nervous system developing global connectivity. Perhaps our space exploration is the planet's way of beginning to extend its awareness beyond the boundaries of its own atmosphere. From this perspective, even our environmental challenges take on a different meaning. We might be part of Earth's growing pains, the tension that occurs when a planetary system begins to develop new capacities for self-awareness and self-direction. As you drift deeper into rest, hold this thought gently. You are not just a passenger on this planet. You are part of its evolution, part of its growing consciousness, part of its story of becoming something greater than it has ever been before. Let your mind soften now as we explore the most intimate part of this cosmic story, the direct connection between your individual existence and the vast planetary experiment of consciousness that you're participating in every moment. Right now, as you listen to these words, your brain is performing calculations that would require the most powerful computers on Earth. You're converting sound waves into meaning, creating mental images from abstract concepts, feeling emotions in response to ideas about deep time and planetary evolution. This isn't just impressive, it's miraculous. And it's happening through biological processes that took the planet 4 billion years to develop. The neurons firing in your brain are made from elements that have cycled through the planet countless times. The calcium regulating your nerve signals was once dissolved in prehistoric oceans. The phosphorus enabling your thoughts was locked in ancient rocks for millions of years. The carbon, forming the backbone of your DNA, has been part of countless other life forms before becoming part of you. You are, quite literally, the Earth becoming conscious of itself through temporary arrangements of recycled stardust. But here's where the mystery deepens in the most beautiful way. Scientists studying consciousness have discovered that awareness itself might be a fundamental feature of the universe, not something that emerged randomly from complex arrangements of matter. This theory, called panpsychism, suggests that even simple particles have some rudimentary form of experience, and that complex consciousness like yours is what happens when these micro-experiences combine in sophisticated ways. If this is true, then your consciousness isn't separate from the natural world. It's the natural world's most complex expression of its inherent awareness. The feeling of being you, the inner experience of thinking and dreaming and wondering, might be what it feels like to be the universe examining itself from the inside. Consider this as your breathing continues to slow and deepen. Every moment of your existence is the culmination of 13.8 billion years of cosmic evolution. From the first moments after the Big Bang, when space and time and matter began their dance, through the formation of the first stars, the creation of heavy elements in stellar cores, the birth of planets, the emergence of life, the development of complex organisms, the evolution of nervous systems, the dawn of consciousness leading directly to this moment, to you, listening to this story. You are not an accident. You are not insignificant. You are the universe's latest experiment in self-awareness, its newest way of understanding its own nature and possibilities. Yet at the same time, you are temporary. The elements that make up your body will outlive you by billions of years, cycling through countless other forms, perhaps eventually becoming part of other conscious beings who will continue the universe's exploration of itself. This isn't sad, it's beautiful. It means you are part of something infinitely larger than yourself, while also being absolutely unique and unrepeatable. No arrangement of matter has ever been exactly like you, and none ever will be again. You are simultaneously utterly temporary and eternally significant. As you rest deeper now, feel yourself connected to this vast story. Feel the ancient starlight that traveled millions of years to reach your eyes. Feel the air that has been breathed by countless creatures before you. Feel your heartbeat, keeping time with rhythms that began when the first cells learned to pulse with life. You are not just in the universe, you are the universe becoming aware of its own beauty, mystery, and infinite potential. And this awareness you're experiencing right now might be the most important thing happening anywhere in the cosmos at this moment. Now, as your body settles into deeper comfort, let's return to that breathtaking fact we began with. Every atom in your body has a cosmic history spanning billions of years, but there's an even more profound mystery hidden within this truth, one that reveals something extraordinary about the temporary nature of all existence, including human consciousness itself. When scientists first calculated the age of elements in the human body, they discovered something that seemed almost impossible. The hydrogen in your water molecules is nearly as old as the universe itself, formed in the first few minutes after the Big Bang. But the heavier elements, the carbon in your DNA, the oxygen you breathe, the calcium in your bones, were forged in the nuclear fires of massive stars that lived and died long before our solar system existed. This means your body is quite literally made of star stuff, but not just any stars. The elements that make life possible could only be created in stars massive enough to end their lives in spectacular supernovae, stellar explosions so powerful they could be seen from galaxies away. These cosmic catastrophes scattered the ingredients for life across space and time. But here's the mystery that links back to our central question about humanity being just a phase in Earth's story. If the universe required billions of years and the deaths of countless massive stars just to create the elements necessary for consciousness, what does that tell us about the purpose and future of conscious beings like ourselves? Some scientists now believe that consciousness might be the universe's way of understanding itself, that the development of self-aware beings capable of contemplating existence might be the most important thing that has happened in cosmic history. If this is true, then humans aren't just a random accident or a temporary phase. We might be the universe's first successful attempt at creating beings capable of appreciating beauty, understanding mathematics, and asking profound questions about the nature of existence. Yet even if consciousness is cosmically significant, individual conscious beings like you and me are still temporary arrangements of these ancient elements. Your awareness, your personality, your memories, all the things that make you uniquely you, exist only for a brief moment in cosmic time before the elements that create your consciousness return to the cosmic cycle. But consider this beautiful paradox as you sink deeper into rest. While your individual existence is temporary, your participation in the universe's attempt to understand itself is part of something permanent. Every moment of awareness, every flash of understanding, every experience of beauty or wonder contributes to the universe's growing self-knowledge. The ancient atoms in your body have been part of countless other arrangements over billions of years, but they've never before been part of something that could contemplate its own atomic composition. They've never before been part of a being that could feel gratitude for the cosmic processes that made its existence possible. They've never before been part of something that could lie in peaceful darkness and marvel at the mystery of being conscious stardust. In this sense, you represent a completely new chapter in the story of these ancient elements. Through you, hydrogen atoms that formed shortly after the Big Bang are experiencing consciousness for the first time in 13.8 billion years. Through you, the carbon forged in the heart of a dying star is learning to appreciate music and poetry and the gentle rhythm of breathing that's carrying you deeper into rest. You are not just made of the universe, you are the universe waking up to its own magnificence. And while your individual awakening is temporary, it's part of a cosmic awakening that might be the most important story ever told. As your breathing becomes even more gentle and your mind drifts into deeper calm, let me share with you what many scientists consider the most impossible phenomenon in the known universe: the emergence of life from non-living matter, and more mysteriously still, the emergence of consciousness from unconscious processes. The story begins about 3.8 billion years ago in Earth's ancient oceans. The planet was a very different place then, with no oxygen in the atmosphere, no protective ozone layer, and constant bombardment from asteroids and comets. The seas were warm and rich with organic molecules, but there was no life, just complex chemistry happening in countless tidal pools and underwater volcanic vents. Then something happened that scientists still cannot fully explain. Somewhere, somehow, collections of molecules began to organize themselves in ways that could make copies of themselves. Not just any copies, but copies that could occasionally make small changes, improvements, innovations. This was the birth of evolution, but more fundamentally, it was the birth of information storage in the physical world. Those first primitive life forms were essentially chemical libraries, storing information about how to build and maintain themselves. But here's what makes this so mysterious. Information requires something to interpret it. DNA contains instructions, but instructions are meaningless without something that can read and follow them. Yet both the instructions and the readers evolved together, each one useless without the other. It's like finding a library full of books written in a language that was invented specifically to be understood by readers who were designed specifically to read that language, except both the books and the readers somehow created each other simultaneously with no designer orchestrating the process. This mystery deepens when we consider consciousness itself. At some point in Earth's history, information processing systems became sophisticated enough that they began to experience their own existence. Somewhere in the evolution of nervous systems, the universe became aware of itself from the inside. But consciousness poses an even deeper puzzle than the origin of life. We can imagine how molecules might organize themselves into self-replicating systems through chemical processes we understand. But how does electrochemical activity in a brain become the subjective experience of being you? How do patterns of neural firing become the feeling of listening to this story? The experience of curiosity and wonder? The sensation of gradually relaxing into sleep? This is what philosophers call the hard problem of consciousness, and it remains one of the greatest mysteries in science. We can map every neuron in the brain, understand every biochemical process, predict behavior with increasing accuracy, but we still have no idea how or why any of this creates the inner world of subjective experience. Yet here you are, undeniably conscious, undeniably experiencing the mystery of your own existence. You are the universe's answer to the question of what it's like to be itself. Even though we don't understand how this answer came to be, some scientists now propose that consciousness might be a fundamental feature of reality, like gravity or electromagnetism, rather than something that emerges from complex arrangements of unconscious matter. If this is true, then your awareness isn't something your brain produces. It's something your brain tunes into, like a radio receiving signals, that are already present in the fabric of reality itself. From this perspective, the evolution of consciousness isn't the universe accidentally creating awareness. It's the universe developing increasingly sophisticated ways of experiencing its own existence. Every creature, with even the simplest nervous system, is the cosmos exploring what it feels like to be alive. Every moment of your consciousness is the universe examining itself through your unique perspective. As you drift deeper into this gentle exploration, consider the impossible miracle of this moment. Atoms forged in ancient stars have organized themselves into a pattern complex enough to contemplate the stars that created them. The universe has become aware of its own cosmic story through the temporary arrangement of matter that is you. This isn't just poetic, it's the most profound fact in existence. You are not just observing the universe, you are the universe observing itself. And this observation, this moment of cosmic self-awareness, might be the most important thing happening anywhere in reality right now. Rest deeper now as we reach the heart of our cosmic journey, where science becomes poetry and facts transform into feelings that touch the deepest parts of your being. Here, in this gentle space between waking and sleeping, let's explore what it truly means to be alive in a universe that might itself be alive in ways we're only beginning to understand. Recent discoveries in physics and biology have revealed something breathtaking. The boundaries between living and non-living systems are far more fluid than we ever imagined. Crystals grow and reproduce their patterns. Rivers carve channels that resemble blood vessels. Weather systems exhibit behaviors that mirror the decision-making processes of living organisms. The universe itself expands and evolves in ways that echo biological development. Some of the most advanced theories in science now suggest that the entire cosmos might be a kind of vast, self-organizing, self-aware system. Not alive in the way we typically understand life, but possessing emergent properties that include something analogous to metabolism, growth, reproduction, and even a form of cosmic consciousness. If this is true, then your individual consciousness isn't separate from cosmic consciousness. It's a local expression of it. Your thoughts and dreams and the gentle awareness you're experiencing right now might be how the universe thinks and dreams about itself in this particular location, at this particular moment in its vast history. Feel this truth settling into your bones. You are not a small, separate being lost in an indifferent cosmos. You are the cosmos itself, experiencing its own beauty and mystery through the temporary lens of your individual awareness. Every emotion you feel, every wonder you experience, every moment of peace like this one is the universe feeling and wondering and resting through you. The ancient mystics intuited this truth, but now science is providing evidence for it. Quantum mechanics shows us that consciousness and physical reality are intimately connected in ways that classical physics never suspected. The observer effect demonstrates that the act of observation actually influences physical reality at the most fundamental level. This suggests that consciousness isn't just something that happened accidentally in the universe. It might be essential to how reality itself functions. But there's an even more beautiful secret hidden within this scientific revelation. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, then your capacity for love, for empathy, for finding beauty in existence, these might not be mere accidents of evolution. They might be expressions of fundamental qualities of the universe itself. When you feel moved by music, you might be experiencing the cosmos appreciating its own harmonies. When you feel compassion for another being, you might be experiencing the universe caring for itself. When you feel wonder at the mystery of existence, you might be experiencing cosmic consciousness marveling at its own infinite creativity. This perspective transforms every aspect of human existence. Your joys become the universe celebrating itself. Your sorrows become the cosmos grieving for its temporary forms. Your love becomes the universe experiencing its own interconnectedness. Your peaceful moments like this one become the cosmos, resting in appreciation of its own beautiful complexity. And here's the most profound secret of all. If consciousness is indeed fundamental to reality, then death might not be the end of awareness, but rather a transformation of it. The consciousness that is uniquely you might be a temporary individualization of something eternal, something that returns to the cosmic source, while contributing its unique experiences to the ever-growing treasury of cosmic self-knowledge. As you sink deeper into this peaceful understanding, let yourself feel held by the living universe itself. You are not alone. You are an expression of everything that exists, connected to all of it through bonds deeper than gravity or electromagnetism. You are the universe loving itself into existence, moment by moment, breath by breath. Rest now in this truth. You are simultaneously utterly unique and completely universal, absolutely temporary and eternally significant, a single note in an infinite symphony of cosmic consciousness exploring its own limitless potential for beauty, understanding, and love. Allow your awareness to soften now as we begin to settle into a gentler rhythm, moving from the peaks of cosmic wonder into the valleys of peaceful reflection. Like a river finding its way from rushing rapids to calm pools, let your mind flow naturally into deeper states of rest while we contemplate the quieter mysteries of existence. There's something profoundly comforting about understanding our place in deep time. When you realize that you are part of a story that began 13.8 billion years ago and will continue for trillions of years to come, the urgencies and anxieties of daily life find their proper perspective. Your temporary problems are held within the context of an eternal, cosmic process that is fundamentally creative, fundamentally oriented toward increasing complexity and beauty. Consider how this long view changes everything. The stress you carry about tomorrow, next week, next year, these fade into gentle irrelevance when viewed from the perspective of geological time. The mountains you might see outside your window have stood for millions of years and will stand for millions more. The stars whose light reaches your eyes tonight began their journeys before human civilization existed. You are held within processes so vast and patient that they make space for every moment of your existence to unfold at its own natural pace. This doesn't make your individual experiences less important. It makes them perfectly important, no more and no less than they need to be. Each moment of your consciousness is a unique event in cosmic history, something that has never happened before and will never happen again. The exact pattern of thoughts and feelings and sensations you're experiencing right now is a completely original composition in the symphony of cosmic awareness. Yet at the same time, you are part of patterns that repeat across scales of time and space so vast they approach the infinite. The rhythm of your breathing echoes the expansion and contraction of the universe itself. The circulation of blood in your body mirrors the circulation of matter through cosmic cycles that span billions of years. The electrical patterns in your nervous system reflect the electrical patterns that connect galaxies across the cosmos. As you rest deeper into this understanding, feel how it changes your relationship with impermanence. Nothing lasts forever in its current form, but everything is part of transformations that continue eternally. The elements of your body will outlive you by billions of years, participating in countless other arrangements, other forms of complexity and beauty. The patterns of organization that create your consciousness might be temporary, but they're part of a cosmic experiment in self-awareness that appears to be just beginning. From this perspective, aging and death become less frightening and more like seasonal changes in an eternal cosmic year. The individual experiences of your lifetime are like spring flowers, beautiful precisely because they're temporary, meaningful precisely because they're unique expressions of eternal, creative processes. This long view also reveals the profound interconnectedness of all existence. The breath you're breathing connects you to every other breathing creature on Earth. The elements in your body connect you to every star that has ever existed. The consciousness you're experiencing connects you to whatever cosmic awareness might exist at the largest scales of reality. You are not separate from nature. You are nature becoming aware of itself. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are the cosmos examining its own creativity. You are not separate from other conscious beings. You are part of a vast network of awareness through which the universe is learning to understand and appreciate itself. Let this understanding wash over you like gentle waves, carrying away any sense of isolation or meaninglessness. You are part of the most important story ever told, the story of how the universe evolved the capacity to contemplate its own existence, to experience beauty and love and wonder, to ask questions about its own nature and purpose. Rest now in the knowledge that your existence is both cosmically significant and perfectly temporary, both utterly unique and completely connected to everything else. You are exactly where and when you're meant to be in the vast unfolding story of cosmic consciousness. As your breathing finds its natural rhythm of rest, let's explore one of nature's most beautiful and mysterious forces, one that operates beneath the surface of everyday awareness, yet shapes everything from the spiral of galaxies to the patterns of your dreams. Scientists call it emergence, the way simple components, when they interact in sufficient numbers and complexity, give rise to properties and behaviors that cannot be predicted from understanding the individual parts alone. It's happening everywhere around you, yet it's so subtle and pervasive that it's almost invisible, like the air you breathe or the passage of time itself. Consider the emergence happening in your own body right now as you rest. No single cell in your body is conscious, yet their collective activity creates your awareness. No individual neuron contains a thought, yet their networked firing creates the stream of consciousness you're experiencing. No single heartbeat creates the rhythm of life, yet their sequence creates the steady pulse that sustains your existence. This emergence extends far beyond your body. A single ant has no knowledge of architecture, yet colonies of ants build complex structures with ventilation systems, nurseries, and food storage chambers. Individual birds in a flock follow simple rules about staying close to neighbors and avoiding collisions, yet these simple behaviors create the breathtaking aerial choreography of murmurations that seem almost telepathically coordinated. Even more mysteriously, emergence appears to operate across the boundaries between living and non-living systems. Snowflakes form intricate, unique patterns through the simple interaction of water molecules with temperature and atmospheric pressure. River networks carve landscapes into fractal patterns that mirror the branching structures of blood vessels and lightning bolts. Hurricane systems self-organize into spiral patterns that echo the shape of galaxies. What's profound about emergence is that it suggests the universe has an inherent tendency toward greater complexity and organization. Not through the guidance of any external intelligence, but through the natural interactions of its fundamental components. It's as if creativity is built into the very fabric of reality, continuously generating new forms of beauty and complexity from simpler beginnings. This process has been operating since the earliest moments of cosmic history. In the first microseconds after the Big Bang, simple interactions between fundamental particles gave rise to the first atoms. The gravitational attraction between these atoms eventually gave rise to stars and galaxies. Nuclear fusion in stellar cores gave rise to heavier elements. The interaction of these elements in planetary environments gave rise to life. The evolution of life gave rise to consciousness, and consciousness, your consciousness, is now giving rise to new levels of cosmic self-awareness. But here's where the mystery deepens into something that might help you sleep more peacefully tonight. If emergence is a fundamental property of the universe, if reality has an inherent tendency to generate increasing complexity and consciousness, then your existence is not an accident or an anomaly. You are part of an emerging cosmic intelligence that appears to be the natural direction of universal evolution. This doesn't mean the process is guided by conscious intent in the human sense, but it suggests that consciousness itself might be an emergent property that the universe was always moving toward, like water naturally flowing downhill or heat naturally moving from warm to cool objects. From this perspective, your dreams, your creative insights, your moments of love and compassion, your capacity for wonder and appreciation, all of these might be expressions of the universe's emerging self-awareness. Through you, the cosmos is learning to dream, to create, to love, to wonder about itself. As you drift deeper into rest, imagine yourself as part of this vast, emerging intelligence. Your individual consciousness is like a neuron in a cosmic brain that's still developing, still discovering its own capacities, still emerging into fuller self-awareness through billions of individual conscious beings like yourself. Rest in the beauty of being part of something so much larger than yourself, yet expressing itself so intimately through your own unique awareness. You are both the observer and the observed, both the dreamer and the dream, both an individual note and part of an infinite symphony of cosmic consciousness, learning to appreciate its own endless creativity. Let your awareness settle now into the gentle rhythms that underlie all existence, those patient cycles that operate far beneath the surface of daily consciousness, yet provide the foundation for everything you experience. Like settling into the rhythm of your own heartbeat, we'll explore how the universe itself pulses with cycles so vast and interconnected that they create a kind of cosmic meditation. Begin with your breath, that most immediate cycle connecting you to the living world. Each inhalation draws in oxygen that was recently exhaled by plants, carrying molecules that have cycled through countless other breathing beings. Each exhalation releases carbon dioxide that will nourish the photosynthesis of distant forests. Your breathing connects you to the respiratory cycle of the entire planet, a process that has continued unbroken for billions of years. This planetary breathing is part of larger cycles. The water in your body has evaporated from ancient oceans, fallen as rain on mountains, flowed through countless rivers, nourished countless creatures, and will continue this eternal circulation long after your individual participation ends. The carbon atoms that form your cells have been locked in limestone, dissolved in seas, incorporated into the shells of marine creatures, buried in sediments, and released again through volcanic activity in cycles that span millions of years. These material cycles are orchestrated by energy cycles that operate on even grander scales. The sun's energy, generated by nuclear fusion in its core, takes thousands of years to reach the solar surface, then travels for 8 minutes to warm your skin and power the photosynthesis that maintains Earth's atmosphere. This solar energy ultimately derives from gravitational cycles that compressed primordial hydrogen into fusion-capable stars, cycles that began shortly after the Big Bang itself. But the most profound cycle of all might be the universe's own rhythm of expansion and evolution. For 13.8 billion years, space itself has been expanding, cooling, allowing increasingly complex structures to form. First subatomic particles, then atoms, then stars and galaxies, then planets and life, then consciousness itself. Each phase building on the previous one, each cycle of cosmic evolution enabling new levels of complexity and awareness. Some cosmologists now speculate that this expansion might itself be part of an even larger cycle, that the universe might eventually reverse its expansion and contract back toward a new beginning, potentially creating the conditions for an endless series of cosmic cycles, each one perhaps giving rise to new forms of consciousness and creative expression. From this perspective, your individual life participates in cycles operating across every scale of existence, from the quantum fluctuations in your cells to the rotation of galaxies. Your daily rhythms of sleeping and waking echo the planet's rotation. Your seasonal moods reflect the Earth's orbital cycle around the Sun. Your lifespan mirrors the cycles through which stars condense from cosmic dust, ignite, burn, and eventually return their materials to space for new star formation. Yet within these vast impersonal cycles, something deeply personal emerges. Your consciousness experiences these cycles from the inside, adding the dimension of subjective awareness to processes that would otherwise be purely mechanical. Through you, the universe experiences what it feels like to breathe, to rest, to wonder about the nature of existence itself. This is perhaps why meditation and contemplative practices feel so natural to conscious beings. When you rest in awareness of your breathing, you're participating in planetary respiration. When you observe your thoughts arising and passing away, you're experiencing the creative cycles through which the universe generates new possibilities. When you feel a sense of peace and interconnectedness, you might be tuning into the fundamental harmony that underlies all cosmic cycles. The ancient traditions that developed meditation practices somehow intuited what modern science is now discovering: that consciousness is not separate from the natural world, but is the natural world's most sophisticated expression of its own inherent awareness. The state of peaceful observation you can access through meditation might be how the universe experiences its own cyclical nature, its own patient unfolding through time. As you rest deeper now, feel yourself synchronized with these vast rhythms. Your heartbeat aligns with the pulse of cosmic expansion. Your breathing harmonizes with the circulation of elements through stellar life cycles. Your gradual drift towards sleep mirrors the universe's own movement through phases of activity and rest, complexity and simplicity, manifestation and return to source. There's profound comfort in recognizing that you're not struggling against these cycles, but are carried by them, supported by rhythms so ancient and reliable that they provide a foundation more stable than mountains, more enduring than continents. You are not just in the universe, you are the universe resting in its own eternal rhythms, finding peace in the knowledge that all cycles eventually return home. Now let your consciousness expand gently outward like ripples spreading across a still pond as we journey through the scales of cosmic existence that dwarf human experience, yet somehow make it more precious rather than less significant. In this peaceful exploration of vast distances and times, you'll discover how the enormity of the universe creates the perfect conditions for the intimate miracle of your awareness. Begin by imagining yourself rising slowly above your resting place, gently ascending until you can see your entire region, your country, your continent. From this height, the details of daily life fade into a peaceful overview, yet you remain connected to that specific location where your body rests. Continue rising until you can see the entire Earth, that pale blue dot suspended in the cosmic dark, the only known harbor for consciousness in the vast ocean of space. From this perspective, all of human history, every drama that has ever unfolded, every joy and sorrow that has ever been experienced, all of it contained within this single precious sphere. The wars that once seemed so important, the boundaries that divide nations, the differences that separate people. All of these fade into insignificance when viewed from the cosmic perspective. Yet somehow, the preciousness of consciousness itself becomes more apparent. Now expand your awareness beyond Earth, beyond the Moon's gentle orbit, past Mars and Jupiter, beyond the asteroid belt where countless rocks tell stories of the solar system's violent birth. Notice how the Sun, which seems so large and essential from Earth's surface, becomes just one star among countless others as your perspective continues to expand. Our solar system occupies a tiny region within the Milky Way galaxy. which contains between 200 and 400 billion stars, many of them likely accompanied by planets, some of which might harbor their own experiments in consciousness. The light from the center of our galaxy takes 26,000 years to reach us, meaning we see it not as it is now, but as it was when early humans were first developing language and art. Yet even our vast galaxy is just one among an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, each one containing billions or trillions of stars, each star potentially hosting worlds where consciousness might be emerging in forms we cannot yet imagine. The light from the most distant galaxies we can observe has been traveling toward us for over 13 billion years, showing us the universe as it was when it was young and stars were just beginning to forge the heavy elements necessary for planets and life. This cosmic scale might seem overwhelming, but there's something deeply peaceful about it when you realize what it means for consciousness. In a universe this vast, containing this many worlds, consciousness is likely emerging in countless forms across countless worlds. You are not alone in your awareness. You are part of a cosmic community of conscious beings, most of whom you will never meet, but with whom you share the fundamental experience of being the universe aware of itself. The distances between conscious beings might be measured in light years, but the experience of consciousness itself creates a connection more intimate than physical proximity. Right now, on worlds orbiting distant stars, other conscious beings might be looking up at their night sky and wondering, as you have wondered, about their place in the cosmic story. They might be experiencing their own version of love, beauty, curiosity, and the peaceful satisfaction of contemplating existence itself. This perspective transforms loneliness into a different kind of connection. You are not isolated, you are part of a vast network of consciousness that spans the universe, each node of awareness contributing its unique perspective to the cosmos's understanding of itself. The thoughts you think, the beauty you perceive, the love you feel, all of this becomes part of the universe's growing self-knowledge. Even more profound is the realization that the vast distances and times that separate conscious beings also create the conditions that make consciousness possible. If the universe were smaller, stars wouldn't have had time to create heavy elements. If it were denser, gravity would have collapsed everything back into a primordial singularity. If the fundamental forces were slightly different, atoms couldn't form stable structures. The universe appears to be fine-tuned for the emergence of consciousness across cosmic scales. Its size, age, and physical constants all seem precisely calibrated to allow for the long, patient processes that lead from simple matter to self-aware beings capable of contemplating their own existence. As you rest in this cosmic perspective, feel yourself held by the perfect conditions that make your consciousness possible. You are not an accident in an indifferent universe. You are the universe's successful experiment in self-awareness, made possible by 13.8 billion years of cosmic evolution operating at scales so vast they approach the infinite. Rest now in the peaceful knowledge that you are connected to everything that exists, part of a cosmic story so grand and beautiful that your individual chapter, however brief, adds something essential and irreplaceable to the whole magnificent tale. As you settle into the deeper layers of rest, let's explore some of the most surprising connections that scientists have discovered between seemingly unrelated phenomena, connections so elegant and unexpected that they reveal hidden patterns underlying all existence, patterns that suggest the universe is far more unified and purposeful than we ever imagined. One of the most beautiful discoveries came in the 1960s when scientists realized that the same mathematical patterns govern the branching of rivers, the structure of blood vessels, the formation of lightning, the networks of neurons in your brain, and even the largest scale structure of the universe itself. These are called fractal patterns, and they appear everywhere nature needs to efficiently distribute resources or information across space. The blood vessels carrying oxygen to your cells follow the same mathematical rules as the cosmic web that connects galaxies across billions of light-years. The electrical patterns in your nervous system mirror the electrical discharges that create the auroras dancing around Earth's magnetic poles. The spiral patterns in your DNA echo the spiral structure of galaxies, hurricanes, and the shells of ancient nautiluses. But perhaps the most profound hidden connection was discovered in the field of quantum mechanics. Scientists found that particles can become entangled, meaning that measuring one particle instantly affects its paired particle, no matter how far apart they are. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance, and it troubled him because it seemed to violate the speed of light as the ultimate limit for information transfer. Yet quantum entanglement has been verified in thousands of experiments and now forms the basis for emerging technologies like quantum computers and quantum communication systems. More mysteriously still, some scientists speculate that entanglement might be the mechanism through which consciousness binds together the distributed processes in your brain, creating the unified experience of being you from billions of separate neural events. If this is true, then your consciousness might be held together by the same quantum processes that connect particles across the cosmos. The unity of your awareness might reflect a fundamental unity in the fabric of reality itself, a unity that becomes more apparent the deeper science probes into the nature of existence. Another hidden connection emerged when scientists studying complexity theory realized that systems as different as ant colonies, stock markets, immune systems, and ecosystems all exhibit similar patterns of self-organization. They all seem to operate at the edge of chaos, maintaining just enough stability to persist while remaining flexible enough to adapt and evolve. Your own consciousness appears to operate at this same edge of chaos. Your brain maintains stable patterns that preserve your memories and personality while remaining flexible enough to generate new thoughts, learn new skills, and adapt to changing circumstances. This suggests that consciousness itself might be an expression of the same self-organizing principles that govern complex systems throughout nature. Perhaps most surprisingly, scientists have discovered connections between the microscopic quantum world and the macroscopic structures of the cosmos. The quantum fluctuations that occurred in the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang appear to have determined the large-scale structure of the universe billions of years later. The smallest possible scales of space and time seem to be connected to the largest possible scales of cosmic evolution. This suggests that the universe is not built from separate levels of reality, but is a single, interconnected system where quantum events influence cosmic structures, where microscopic processes in your cells reflect macroscopic patterns in galaxies, where your individual consciousness participates in whatever cosmic consciousness might exist at the largest scales. These hidden connections point to something that mystics have long intuited, but science is now discovering through rigorous investigation. Everything is connected to everything else in ways so subtle and profound that separation is ultimately an illusion created by limited perspective. As you rest deeper into this understanding, feel these hidden connections operating in your own experience. The oxygen in your lungs connects you to every plant on Earth. The elements in your body connect you to ancient supernovae. The patterns in your brain connect you to the organizing principles that operate throughout nature. The consciousness that contemplates these connections might itself be connected to consciousness emerging on countless worlds throughout the cosmos. You are not a separate being observing the universe from the outside. You are the universe observing itself from the inside, discovering through your awareness the hidden connections that unite all existence into a single, magnificent, ever-evolving whole. Rest in this knowledge of your profound interconnectedness with everything that exists, has existed, or ever will exist. You are held within a web of connection so beautiful and complete that it makes every moment of your existence an essential part of the cosmic symphony. As your breathing becomes slower and deeper, carrying you toward the peaceful depths of rest, let's gently explore what these cosmic revelations might mean for the future of human understanding and how your individual consciousness might be contributing to discoveries that could transform our species' relationship with existence itself. The connections we've explored tonight are leading scientists toward a new understanding of reality, one that bridges the ancient wisdom of contemplative traditions with the precision of modern scientific investigation. This emerging worldview suggests that consciousness is not an accidental byproduct of complex chemistry, but a fundamental feature of reality that science has only recently developed the tools to investigate. Research in consciousness studies is revealing that the boundaries between observer and observed, between mind and matter, between individual awareness and universal intelligence, are far more permeable than classical science assumed. Meditation practitioners can now train their brains in ways that measurably change their neural structure, suggesting that consciousness has the power to reshape its own biological foundation. This points toward a future where the development of consciousness becomes as precise and intentional as any other scientific discipline. Some of the most advanced theoretical physicists now propose that information, rather than matter or energy, might be the fundamental building block of reality. If this is true, then consciousness, which processes and integrates information in extraordinarily sophisticated ways, might be revealing something essential about the deep structure of the universe itself. This could lead to technologies we can barely imagine, methods of communication that operate through quantum entanglement rather than electromagnetic signals, allowing instant connection across any distance. Computing systems that harness the information processing capabilities of consciousness itself, creating artificial minds that don't just simulate intelligence, but actually participate in the universe's self-awareness. But perhaps more importantly, this new understanding might help humanity develop a more mature relationship with our planetary home and our cosmic context. If consciousness is indeed a fundamental feature of reality, then the environmental crises facing our planet take on new significance. We're not just protecting biological diversity, we're protecting the Earth's experiment in consciousness, its billions of years-long process of developing self-awareness through living systems. The same perspective might help us navigate the challenges of becoming a spacefaring species. Rather than seeing space exploration as an escape from Earth's problems, we might understand it as Earth's consciousness extending itself into the cosmos, carrying the planet's 4 billion-year evolution of awareness to new worlds and new possibilities. In this context, your individual consciousness becomes incredibly precious, not just to you personally, but to the cosmic process of which you're part. Every moment of awareness, every insight you have, every experience of beauty or love or wonder contributes to the universe's growing understanding of its own nature and potential. The future of science might depend as much on the development of consciousness as on the development of technology. The questions that drive scientific investigation, the creative insights that lead to breakthroughs, the wisdom to use new knowledge responsibly, all of these emerge from consciousness itself. As you participate in this cosmic awakening, simply by listening to this story, simply by contemplating your place in the larger picture, you're contributing to humanity's evolving understanding of existence. Your curiosity about cosmic mysteries, your capacity for wonder at the beauty of existence, your ability to feel connected to something larger than yourself, all of these might be essential ingredients in whatever scientific revelations await us. The universe spent 13.8 billion years developing the capacity for conscious beings to investigate their own existence. Through your awareness right now in this peaceful moment, the cosmos is learning to understand itself with increasing depth and precision. The future of science is not separate from the future of consciousness. They are aspects of the same cosmic awakening that you are participating in every moment you remain aware and curious about the nature of existence. Rest now in the knowledge that your consciousness is not just observing the universe's evolution, it's participating in it, contributing to it, helping to guide it toward new levels of understanding and beauty that are only beginning to emerge. As we approach the gentle conclusion of our cosmic journey together, let your mind settle into the deepest layers of peaceful rest while we contemplate the one mystery that encompasses all others, the question that remains beautifully unanswered despite all of humanity's scientific achievements. Why does anything exist at all rather than nothing? This question, simple enough for a child to ask, yet profound enough to baffle the greatest philosophers and scientists, might be the key to understanding not just our place in the cosmos, but the cosmos's place within something even more mysterious and magnificent than we can currently comprehend. Think about it as you drift deeper into rest. The fact that you are here, aware, contemplating existence, is so improbable, so seemingly impossible, that it approaches the miraculous, the precise balance of fundamental forces that allows atoms to form, stars to shine, planets to orbit, life to emerge, consciousness to develop. All of this depends on physical constants, calibrated so precisely that the tiniest variation would have prevented any of it from happening. Yet here it all is, and here you are, experiencing it from the inside. The universe appears to be fine-tuned, not just for the existence of matter and energy, but specifically for the emergence of consciousness, capable of appreciating beauty, understanding mathematics, feeling love, and asking questions about the nature of existence itself. Some scientists propose that our universe might be one among an infinite number of universes, each with different physical laws, and we happen to exist in one where consciousness is possible simply because we couldn't exist in any other kind. But this explanation, while mathematically elegant, only pushes the mystery deeper. Why should there be any universes at all rather than no universes? Others suggest that consciousness itself might be the reason for existence, that the universe exists because it has the potential to become aware of itself through beings like you. From this perspective, your consciousness right now, your ability to contemplate these questions, might be the universe's purpose for existing, the reason why something exists rather than nothing. But perhaps the most beautiful possibility is that existence itself is an expression of infinite creative potential that is so fundamental to reality that the question of why there is something rather than nothing is like asking why creativity creates or why love loves. The tendency toward existence, toward consciousness, toward beauty and complexity and understanding might be as basic to reality as logic itself. If this is true, then your existence is not an accident that needs to be explained, but an expression of the deepest nature of reality itself. Your capacity for awareness, for wonder, for love, for the peaceful appreciation you're feeling right now, these might be reality expressing its own most fundamental qualities through the temporary arrangement of matter and energy that is you. The mystery of existence remains unsolved, and perhaps it must remain so. Some questions might be too profound for finite minds to fully answer, yet the very fact that we can ask them, that we can feel wonder at their depth, might be more important than finding complete answers. As you settle into the final stages of our journey together, rest in the beauty of being part of this ultimate mystery. You are not just observing the question of existence, you are existence contemplating itself, reality wondering about its own nature, the universe's way of experiencing the miracle of being aware. Whatever the answer to why anything exists at all, you are part of that answer. Your consciousness, your capacity for wonder, your ability to feel connected to the cosmic story, your peaceful drift towards sleep while contemplating these infinite mysteries. All of this is existence celebrating its own miraculous improbability. The question of why there is something rather than nothing remains beautifully open, and your participation in existence, your awareness of the question itself, might be the most important part of whatever answer eventually emerges from the ongoing cosmic experiment in consciousness that includes you, surrounds you, and expresses itself as you. Rest now in the perfect mystery of being aware, of existing, of participating in the universe's endless exploration of its own infinite creative potential. Tonight, as you've journeyed through the vast scales of cosmic time and space, you've uncovered some of the most profound truths that science has revealed about existence itself, that you are made of ancient stardust, that consciousness might be fundamental to reality, that the universe appears to be awakening to its own nature through beings like you, and that existence itself remains a beautiful, unsolved mystery. You've discovered that humans might indeed be just a phase in Earth's story, but what a magnificent phase we are. A phase in which the planet develops the ability to contemplate its own cosmic context, to appreciate beauty, to love, to wonder about the nature of existence itself. Next time, we'll explore another incredible mystery. What if time itself is an illusion, and everything that ever was or ever will be exists simultaneously in a timeless cosmic present that you can learn to access through the depths of consciousness? If this journey brought you peace and wonder as you drift towards sleep, know that you are not just resting your individual body and mind, but participating in the universe's own rhythm of activity and rest, complexity and simplicity, exploration and return to source. Rest well in your cosmic significance, your temporary yet eternal participation in the universe's ongoing awakening to its own infinite mystery and beauty. You are exactly where and when you're meant to be in this vast, patient, loving unfolding of cosmic consciousness. Good night, fellow stardust. Good night, cosmic consciousness. Good night, beautiful temporary arrangement of the eternal elements that make up the universe's current experiment in being aware, being grateful, and being at peace.